All right, so when you start this job on these Ranger 1000s, you're gonna wanna pull the tire off. You don't have to, but I do. And to get this clutch cover off, first thing you're gonna do, this is how I do it, is I take this cover off the air filter. That just gives you that much more room to get this clutch cover off. But you're gonna take an 8mm, all these bolts, all the way around it, take all those off, and have a little patience because it's tricky to get it off. But once you get it off, then you can start getting your belt off and get your clutch pulled and so on and so forth. We got a P90X clutch off of Polaris 1000 crew cab, and as you can see, for anybody that's never messed with a P90X clutch, they split apart in the middle. You got to be careful or your parts are going to fall out. But what happened is we stripped the splines out. So we've already taken the spring out. We took all these bolts out, got this spring out. Got this spring out. We got to take the weights out. So we got to use the old spring and the old weights for the new clutch. And we'll get this put together real quick. All right, so we got the old weights in the new clutch, got the old spring in the new clutch. Little backstory here. So the customer brought this Ranger. It's a Ranger North Star crew cab. He brought it in. It was going in and out of limp mode, misfire code, and after doing a little investigation, I seen that this outer sheave, if you look, the outer sheave just slips. Well, it was causing the belt to slip, obviously, and it was throwing a misfire code. But anyways, instead of trying to change the back sheath out and rebuild the clutch, we're going to put a new clutch on it. And so just anybody wondering, when we put these weights in, you got to pull this pin, and that is a 10mm nut, and I use an 1/8" Allen wrench on that side. That gets that off of there, and then your top plate, use a 10mm, and always make sure to line that X with that X right there, and everything's back the way it was. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this put back on there and I'll update you. Okay, got the new clutch on there. So anybody wondering, on these P90X clutches, they're not like the old style clutches on the Razors and the older Rangers. What you do is you're gonna pull that Torx head out, and I don't know off the top of my head what size it is. I'll look, but I'll in the description I'll put all the Torx and the sizes. But you'll pull this Torx head bolt out, and basically you'll grab this outer sheath. You can wiggle it back and forth, and this clutch will come off in 2 pieces. So the inner sheath back there will stay on the machine, but just be very careful when you pull that outer sheath off. There's other parts in there that can come apart. But if you ever do any maintenance or put a clutch kit on one of these P90X clutches, I like them because you can just pull them apart, pull them in half, lay them on the table, do all your things to it, and then you're good to go. Just slide it back on there. Go ahead and mark you want to mark the inside sheath and the outside sheath. Make sure you get it put back on the way it was. But anyways,